Welcome back. With all the wildfires we are seeing across our state, it is definitely reassuring when you know you can do something to protect your home.
Yeah, let's talk about it with Darren Knowles, part of Colorado Association of Landscapers. And let's start there. Like, what are the elements? What do we need to know about making sure that our landscapes are fire smart? What does that even mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess generally speaking, fire smart landscapes are generally an approach to landscaping that really helps to protect your home against the spread of wildfire, really trying to keep down the amount of these flying embers that will kind of spread to the homes. So to really kind of enforce and implement a fire smart landscape, you really want to make sure that you're starting with a defensible space. So that's about 5 feet of a perimeter around any structure on a property that has no flammable material whatsoever. You also want to make sure when you're considering the placements of trees that when they are fully grown, they're going to be about 10 feet, at least 10 feet away from any structure or 10 feet away from each other. And then you're also going to want to make sure that there are no woody plant material underneath those trees, as that's just another ignition point.
Okay, and so what kind of materials are we talking about that you will use instead of other things to help out?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess first thing, you just want to make sure that you're really avoiding the use of too much wood really at all. So you want to think about alternatives to fencing and decks. So you maybe want some metal or vinyl fencing materials, and then perhaps some composite materials, or perhaps some concrete for decks and patios as well. And then starting with kind of the plant material that you really want to look for some high moisture content plants, some that are not really susceptible to combusting and catching on fire. So we've got yuccas, we've got butterfly weed, we've got sedum, and we've got ice plant are all really great options. You can also consider penstemon, and Colorado State University Extension Office has a really great plant list on its website of those fire smart plants. And then in terms of kind of the mulch options, we really want to see those non-combustible materials, inorganic materials like the rock mulch. We've got really common kind of larger rock mulch here, but this is another rock mulch option that we really like to recommend, which is called squeegee. And so not only is it not combustible, but it's also acts as a weed barrier too if you plant it deep enough.
Oh, nice.
But what we really don't want to see in the landscape is this shredded wood mulch, as it can really, catch on fire. Sure, it looks great, it smells great, but it's not really, doesn't really have a place.
It also looks like kindling,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, forgive me, this is a silly question, but obviously in the rural areas and, the different places we're seeing that are on fire as we speak, is this something in the metro areas that we need to be thinking about as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, traditionally, we've really been thinking about fire smart landscaping in kind of the wildland urban interface, or the WUI areas. But the Marshall Fire a few years ago really demonstrated that this wildfire can spread pretty rapidly through the urban areas. And so it's really, a consideration to keep in mind whenever you're planning out a landscape. And if you're really thinking about kind of what those landscapes look like, the fire smart landscapes, Northern Water, we just installed a fire smart landscape demonstration area in our backyard too. So please do come visit us at our headquarters in Berthoud.
And just quickly, what you're showing us here and what we're talking about, this isn't fireproof, right? This is not meant to repel fire from your house. It's meant to give you the most amount of time, right?
Yeah, that is a really, really good point. Yes, this is not the silver bullet. This is not going to guarantee that your house won't catch on fire, but it's a really good step in the right direction to help reduce the risk.
Yep, important stuff. Darren, thank you. We're melting, so we're going to go back inside, but this is such important information, especially right now, so we appreciate you and you guys at home for listening.